Jim, I was calculating today. The Orioles scored 7 times on 23 hits in Kansas City after scoring 29 runs and 41 hits against the Toronto Blue Jays. Didn't it look like the Orioles were headed a little bit in a better direction after the Toronto series? Now they get stopped in Kansas City.
Yeah, but Tom, you own a restaurant. I go there on Friday night. Oh boy, the service is great, food's wonderful. And then the next night it's not. That's kind of like baseball, I mean, if you have a good restaurant, you don't do it. Hey, Toronto wasn't playing well, even though they had swept the Orioles up in Toronto. Kansas City's now won 7 out of 8. They won 3 straight series. They got some young players. I was impressed, not only by Lopez today. I just heard what Demper said about 6 out of the first 9 guys. I mean, it was like the eyewash hadn't kicked in. He made good pitches, had good stuff. But, again, whether it was Wilmeyer yesterday, he went 7 innings, the most he's ever pitched. Keller got into the 8th inning. Again, the Rule 5 guys, so they pitched real well. They're playing better. And they earned these wins. And the Orioles scored 2 runs. They score what? They come back with 2 runs in the 8th yesterday to take the lead. And then Gibbons, has a bad inning, gives up the walk-off home run. And today they were just outmatched. It was an ugly game. It was one of those spring training games where you're trying to work on your pickoffs and you're throwing them away and you're giving them extra outs. And they don't need any help because they're playing at a better level than the Orioles.
Jimmy, David Hess has been pitching pretty good. I'm very impressed how he turned his season around in his last 3 or 4 games. And then all of a sudden today kind of reverted back. Didn't look as bad as the streak was before, but still he lost control. All singles, 6 of them in a row, and then the roof caved in.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the errors didn't help. There was a potential Herrera ground ball back to him. He bobbled it. Then he didn't make a good throw. I don't think they get a double play anyway. But then he hung a slider to Escobar. That tied the ball game up at 1-1. Then they had the 3-run inning. I mean, the good news about it, he could have caved in. Didn't lose his composure, after all the errors in the 3rd and the 4th. Got Carrera out to get out of the inning. Gil Martin came in, pitched well for 2 and 2.3 innings. Mike Wright, did not have had a horrible August, a run an inning, and today he ends up giving up 4 runs. So, again, some good, some bad. Now they got to go on Seattle, and the one thing about Seattle is they're 16 games over 500, depending on what happens up, in Oakland today. But again, they're scoring 40 runs less than what they do. So the Orioles have a chance to play the role of scorers. I'm kind of looking forward to see Josh Rogers in the second Major League starts. It'll be a little bit different environment, not Camden Yards, not the home field, even though his first Major League start. And let's see how he does in his second Major League start up in the Northwest.